No, you didn't.
Do you have to say something about that? Then you're usually involved in something.
Guilty conscience.
I don't know.
Yeah. So so I guess that's something yet another thing that I could talk about was that. Excuse me. The RC. See, that's what happens when you drink too much of the RC. It interrupts your show. If I can say Royal Crown. How many out there actually remember Royal Crown? That's my favorite one.
I do.
It's not Tab.
I like Tab, though.
It's not Tab. It's not Jolt. It's not Jolt Cola. Knock, knock, knocking on the door. Who's knocking on the door? Go away. We don't want any. I think I heard him say UPS. And they're still delivering? It's like, oh yeah, they're in their peak season. Yeah, it's busy time. Hey, UPS people, I feel for you. I did that for a couple of years. I know how that is. I forgot all about that, though. It's amazing how when you get away from something, you forget about what it is that exists out there. And you guys are working your butts off, so keep on doing it. And the FedEx guys and the Postal Service guys, and let's see who else, DHL. Yeah, all you guys who are getting that overtime and in those unions.
Thank you for bringing my packages safely to my home and not crushing them.
As in, like, falling in love with them?
No, as in not smashing my beautiful FedEx or UPS boxes.
Oh, I'm just trying to keep up with the young kids. I thought when you were saying, like, crushing, I thought you meant, like...
No, crushing it. That was a couple of years ago.
Oh, it wasn't yesterday?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't.
Right. What's this? What are you looking at here? Michael Strahan, what?
Michael and Howie Long.
Okay, what is it specifically
Michael Strahan
about Michael that you're talking about here? I mean, you're trying to show me something, and if you're going to show it to me, I got to be able to see it. Don't give me the Reader's Digest version or long story short, please.
Well, there's the Howie.
All right, what's going
on? He on Good Morning America.
This is fake news.
No, it's not fake news.
Yeah, it is.
On Good Morning America, he wanted to talk about how he got over his ED problem. And Fox is angry at him.
Fake news.
Michael Strahan did the same thing.
This is fake.
And ABC, since he works for them now,
is
angry with him as well.
Fake.
It's not fake news. That's CNN.
No, that's fake. That's not really CNN.
Yes, it is.
Nah, it's Yahoo News shit. There's no way that
CNN.
there's no way that happened. I am not falling into that.
That's what it says.
Well, if that were the case, prediction, Strahan would be on Ballers next season. So, yeah, I'm not falling for that.
He's already been in Magic Mike movies, so why not?
I gotta say, that was fucking stupid.
It was. I agree.
There's no way I'd want to watch that show. I'm sorry. That was just a stupid ass show. I don't know why you went to Magic Mike all of a sudden.
Well,
no.
I've
never even I'm going to interrupt you and tell you no. I don't want to care about that. I don't want to hear about that. I'm not going to talk about that here and now. There's no way that what you're telling me about Michael and Howie is true. That's like Yahoo News crap. That's that stuff they try to bait and switch you into that you're falling into and believing you have to be. Is it Yahoo that you're looking at, by the way? Let me see.
Now it is, yeah.
Well, that's where you're getting that news from. I'm not even going to talk about that. We'll move on to something else.
Okay.
I'm sorry. If there's validity to it, if we find out, at a later time, I could obviously jump back on and talk about that. But I'm not buying into that. That's one of those things where they talk about when you see it, where it's like, hey, Dwayne Johnson, look how big he is because of he's been doing this. And you click on it, and it's like, if you drink kale juice, and it's always some advertisement or some bullshit. He does it too. This person that does it too. Nah, I don't buy into that. Yeah. See, fake.
Well, this is going back to controversial things, but
yeah, that ain't it.
No, right here it's not.
That's fake. That is. It really is. There really is fake news out there.
Well, then why are you asking me?
Because you were pointing him out, and I saw it, and it was like a caption that said Michael Strahan, and I'm like, really? There's no way he did that. I wanted to see what you were showing to make sure if it was legitimate or not. Just because it has a stamp of CNN doesn't make it legitimate. Just saying.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. So you don't have to talk about him. Nice guy though. I like his stuff. Hey, if he's got a problem with that downstairs, which I don't believe that he does, and if he's really talking about it and it is true, and I find out there's some real truth to it, we'll talk about it, and I would predict he'd be on Ballers next season making even more money. Or he'll have his own show. He's all right. He'll go somewhere else. Somebody will sign him. He's doing good at what he's doing. People like him. They like his voice. They like his the way he speaks. They like everything about him. The way he dresses,
Yeah, and he's funny. honest. It seems, anyway.
Walks to work every day.
Does he?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
He buys his croissant from the neighborhood French market on the way to work, 5 a.m. after he had his 4 a.m. workout. Gets his coffee at the next shop. Continues his walk into the studio. Walks into work. Hey, it's Michael. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's how it happens.
Right, he's the one guy. Yeah. Hey, Mikey's here. Don't call me Mikey. Oh, it's Michael. All right, RG3 gets a snap at the Lamar Jackson's hurt. You know, all right, okay. Yeah, I'm not going to touch on that, but I kind of feel like I have to.
Well, you're
but
going to talk about Lamar, or you're going to talk about RG3?
I'm going to talk about Lamar
Okay.
and how I can't understand a fucking thing he says.
You're not alone.
And I am just saying that I can't, when I look at him, I cringe. Like, there are football players out there in leadership roles. I feel like I'm not trying to say the wrong thing here, okay? But if you are a sports announcer or a reporter, if I were that reporter and I see it's Lamar and I'm like, and my, Fox tells me or whoever, hey, go interview Lamar. He just, ran for 250 yards and he threw for 795,000 yards today and it's record breaking. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I wouldn't be able to have the conversation, like, hey, Sarah, tell me, how did you feel about that game today? What did you do? How did you feel about your 250 yards on the ground? How do you feel about that today? Your performance, you ran 250 yards. How does that make you feel?
That I did a really good job. My team, we worked well together. We got the job done. Yeah, this game's over. On to the next game. 200 yards today, 300 yards next Sunday.
Okay, great. So I would have a follow-up question,
Sure.
like, oh, great. So then blah, blah, blah. And I would have a series of questions to follow up with, Right, where I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to go over and ask him anything at all because I don't want to say I don't understand anything at all that he says. Because I really am zoning in. Like, I will stop what I am doing if I'm walking in from cooking out on my grill on football Sunday. And I'm not a Baltimore Ravens fan, okay? I'm a Bears fan. We're doing good this year. We're going to do better next year. The Packers fired their coach after having one bad year. I'm not a Packers fan. It doesn't really bother me. They've had a couple good. It's not like he's doing horrible. I don't know why you'd fire him. I don't know. Anyway, the Bears did something similar when they fired Lovie Smith, who wasn't as good as the Green Bay Packers coach, I guess some people would say. But anyway. I'm not a Ravens fan, okay? So I do not care at all, okay? But he went to the University of Louisville where I lived for a while. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and I was like, hey, this guy's doing good, because before him was Bridgewater. And hey, Bridgewater, when he talks, I can understand what he's saying. And they go to Lamar, and it's just like, stay in college, dude. You should have stayed in college.
It's going to sound bad, but did he really pass his classes in college?
I don't know. I don't have those grades. I'm not the professor or anything, but I'm not trying to cross any boundaries or upset anybody, but it's just like...
He's really hard to understand.
I'm walking in, and I'm like, okay, there he is, and I stop.
And focus.
And I look at the TV, and I give all of my ADHD attention I can give, zoned right the hell into everything that he could be saying, and I get... one out of every 4 or 5 words, and I'm just amazed that there's a presence that I do not see in him. I don't see him sticking around for a couple of years, and it's not like he's going to hear this. But if he did hear this, and if he was like, "Oh, the hell with that," and hey, if he does hear it, if somebody did tell him I'm saying this, I'll have an interview with you. I'm telling you right now, the whole time that I'm doing it, I will be really hurting. I will be, oh man,
physically painful
because is he really going to focus on trying to get it right, or is he going to be, keeping it real and doing what it is that he's doing? He's gonna be like, this is me, you don't like me. He's gonna say whatever he says. If you can't understand me, blah 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 blah. And I'm not trying to insult the man. Okay, I don't want to insult anybody. Sometimes it happens. If I say something wrong, people get insulted. Sometimes people insult me. That's just kind of emotions do that. We play on our emotions. Okay, but.
But you really have tried to understand him.
because
Right,
I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and I want to know what his thoughts are in being at the next level in the NFL, and I can't understand him, and it drives me nuts. And I'm like, dude, look, if you can't get it, I don't know. I can tell you that, man, I remember watching Louisville, Kentucky, and I remember Teddy Bridgewater, and again, here I go. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say, but his grill was not where it was supposed to be. And then all of a sudden, next year, he had this fancy-ass smile. There was a dentist that hooked him up in Louisville, Kentucky for free.
Well, yeah, because he got hooked up.
He knew he was going to the next level. He prepared himself.
Everyone knew.
And I kind of feel like Lamar really just didn't prepare himself. And he kind of feels like maybe, I wouldn't say he's above the game, but I feel like he thinks he's, I don't know. If you watch some of these guys, you think that they think that they're the best and nobody can do better. Well, I'm not an NFL player, but I know that if I ever did make it to the NFL, that I would not take every day or any day for granted at all. I would know that the next day, any moment, it could end. And look, it almost did for him, and it may be coming to an end for him because he's already injured.
Right.
Because of how he plays
right.
at the next level. Sorry, man, you've been in there 1 year. This is your first year. This ain't college, man. These guys who are 4 or 5 or 6 years in, who every single day are, working out and, bench pressing buses and freaking condominiums, okay?
Right.
These guys are squatting freaking waterfront mansions, and they've been hitting, I don't know, parking garage posts in the 3rd floor as hard as they can every day. And you come in there thinking, oh, I'm going to be the first and ever guy that's going to run the ball as a quarterback. When that wasn't your job. There's a running back that does that, There's a fullback that does that. There are some tight ends that are big guys that will hurt some people. This guy, you're not the first one to try this. There are some names in the past. I mean, geez, Warren Moon, Dante Culpepper. I mean, there's names I could come up with, okay, that tried the same thing. And they were injured.
They're not around very long.
And so a part of me is like, hey, man,
get some coaching.
Well, he's getting coaching, but I mean, maybe speech
public
coaching,
speaking coaching.
Yeah, I mean, there's life coaching, and that's fair to say, I guess.
I mean,
if he hears this, he might be like, "Fuck you." That's fine. Be like that.
I'm sure there are a lot of there's a lot of musicians and artists and lots of people in the sports industry. They know you're going to be talking to people on camera, right?
And they get better and better as the years go on.
People that will have public speaking therapists teach them how to speak in public.
Public speaking therapist?
Public speech therapist.
Public speaking therapist?
Sure.
Public, because I don't know if it's speeching.
Probably not. It's probably speaking, right? So I guess I need some help because
I was here for you just now. I wasn't quite sure if it was right either. I had to. If you notice, I kind of asked as a question, like,
right.
Well, is it that or is it this?
Good looking out.
Yeah. What's that mean?
You are concerned.
Oh.
Yeah.
I know what that means.
I know you do.
Of course I know what that means.
I know you do.
Is there anything out that's fun? I used to talk about funny things that were happening. Let's look up some Google stuff and see if there's anything that's funny out there that happened. Because I've been gone since like August. Which is a long time.
Lazy?
I wouldn't say I'm lazy. I've been getting my money.
I know.
I haven't been podcasting. I've just been doing something else. I'm not sure. The long pause here. I mean, I could pause it and continue and pick up where I go, but the hell with that. I'm just going to keep on going. And look, Lamar, hey, man, if you ever did catch wind of this and you hear that, I'll have a conversation with you, man. I would like to have a conversation with you because I was a Louisville Cardinal fan because I lived there, and I'm glad you did what you did for the Louisville Cardinals, and I am glad to see you at the next level. But, man, I mean, you're so hyper when you talk and when you're saying what you're saying. I just can't understand what you're saying, man. Like, what are you talking about? And it's pretty simple. It kind of reminds me of Brendan Fraser's character in Bedazzled, the basketball player that's just sweating profusely, and he's like, we had a really good game, and good to my coaching, we had a really good game, and it was a fun game, and you just can't. You're like, what? And you can't connect, and he's not the first.
He just doesn't sound very educated.
Many, many, many of them out there, and it bugs me. It bugs me sometimes. Anything funny in the crazy world, in the crazy news? From the HuffPost.
Yeah, Nothing. I don't see anything on here.
Nothing at all?
Not on this one.
Nothing's been happening since
I'm
August?
Sure there is. There is. I
That's
just haven't
crazy.
found it yet.